Stereo.
Attention everyone, the RawCast Live is now in session. Please get to your seats of assignment and get ready for another Yap Fest from your hosts, Raw Tactics and True Blue 77. Please keep your hands away from the lobotomites and enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, top of the morning to you. This is the RawCast. I am Raw Tactics with my man, True Blue. Blue, how you doing today, bro?
I'm good, man. Good. Just want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. It's good to be here.
Indeed it is. And shout out to Patty Dunn did it for that amazing intro sequence. And bro, thank you. Round of applause are in order.
100% round of applause is order for that. Top drawer stuff. Love it, Patty.
Blue, what you been up to lately? What you been playing? Anything gaming-wise?
So, I've been playing Armor Reforger. I've been playing that constant. My friend, I mentioned it in the chat actually, in one of your live streams. He kindly bought it for me. Just
Very nice.
Just randomly bought it for me. I was talking to you about it off stream, and this is a guy that I've not even met in real life. Just a guy that I've gamed with online. I was in a clan with him in Battlefield 3 and 4, and he was like, "What are you playing?" And I was like, just this, that, and the next thing. And he was like, "Oh, you tried?" Well, I suggested Armor Reforger because he wanted a game to sort of co-op on, and I said, "I can't buy it just now because I'm saving my pennies." And before you know it, he's linked me a gift on Steam, and it's Armor Reforger. So I was like, "Oh, thank you very much. What a kind man." So yeah, I've been playing that. For anyone that's not in the know, it's like armor. It's an armor game, so it's like a more tactical sort of version of I'd say like Battlefield. It's more to do with comms, tactics, and it's far slower paced, but it's still action packed. There's a lot of stuff going on in there. So yeah, I've been playing that and having a blast. Yeah, that's probably about it. And switching between that and Fallout 4. But yeah, I think that's what I've been playing.
I need some friends like that. I need some friends like that for sure. That's awesome, bro. Fallout and some more Fallout sprinkled in with some extra Fallout. Been doing some crazy challenge runs, like you already know. I really haven't been playing much else. We played a little Battlefield, like almost a week ago at this point, I think. Other than that, it's really just been Fallout, man. I've had my eyes on a lot of stuff and been looking at a few games, but not really played anything else. Saying good morning to you, Mr. Libra the Hermit in the building, Smooches in the building, Mr. AI Colonel. Thank you all for being here. Good to see you guys this morning. If you missed it, I'm a highly advise you to just rewind the stream and catch the beginning. Shout out to Patty once again. Yeah, as far as games go, I really haven't been playing much else. We've just been doing more challenge runs. I've been working on a video and some YouTube shorts related to different Fallout DLC. And you actually, based off our discussion the other night, I'm really considering doing some Fallout 1 but I want to finish the Pit series that I'm working on right now first. Definitely gonna
Got
be
to do
doing some
Fallout 1, man.
research.
Sorry, I just cut on, but yeah, you've got to do Fallout 1, man. It's the goat for me. It is the goat.
Yeah,
I've mentioned it on so many times. The stories, the everything. That game is like hands down my favorite game ever made. Just for it's got everything for me. I know it's dated now, but it's still up. It's for me. It's the classic. It's the goat.
got you. Uh, well, we got a decent amount to cover today, so guys, we're gonna go ahead and hop into a little bit of gaming news and coverage. We're starting off coming in hot with Blood of Dawnwalker. If you guys remember, I showed you like we checked out the trailer for that live, maybe on the last RawCast, not the one before that. Blood of Dawnwalker is that vampire game that's being created by and led by The Witcher 3 director. He says that he left CD Projekt Red to make his own open world vampire game because, quote unquote, those rules of RPGs can be bent and, quote unquote, a smaller team was capable of doing more. He was also saying that CD Projekt Red considered the game too risky for their likings. To read off the exact quote from an interview, of course, we had a huge love of RPG games and what has been done before in the past, he said. But I feel that those things, the rules of RPGs, can be expanded and evolved. We had crazy ideas. We knew that, if we wanted to make them, we needed to open our own studio because it would be hard to convince any big company, with a non-IP to change and do something new and do something crazy. Actually, it's risky because we're doing oh, whoops. Because we're doing some solutions which are new. So that little paragraph has got me even more excited for this game than I was before, just off of looking at it and knowing who's behind it. The fact that they're wanting to push the RPG genre forward, like, bro, this thing could be crazy. I'm curious what exactly that entails and what exactly he means by that. But if he's confident enough to go open a brand new studio to publish this thing, and to work on this game, like, I'm excited, man.
It's interesting. The quote that grabs me the most. I mean, all of it is interesting, but the one is where he's saying it might be too risky to make it CD Projekt Red.
Right.
Now, the skeptical person in me kind of goes, right. Is this to do with, stuff we have discussed previously?
Right.
Are people's hands being tied because of it being 2025 or whatever? Do you know what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
Do they just want to create a game for gamers and cut out the nonsense, the messaging and stuff like that? So straight away I'm thinking about that, right? That's
Right.
that's the skeptic in me. I'm thinking it's too risky because CD Projekt Red they've seemed to have I was going to say bent the knee, but I don't think that's. You get what I'm saying though, right?
They pulled the
And I
sock
think
out.
yeah, they pulled the sock out, right? Nah, and I think that quote with it being too risky to make it CD Projekt Red is genuinely interesting, and just going from what I've seen in the trailer as well, they're not messing around by the looks of it. It was dark, it was gritty, the music score very Witcher 3, like I said before in the previous podcast, but. I think they want to basically take the shackles off and just make what they want and not have to follow any guidelines in terms of, let's just say again, DEI, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think they just want to make a game for gamers with no messing around. Sort of like the approach that the developers took for Space Marine 2, for example. They just wanted to make a game for gamers and not,
Yes.
inject it with politics and stuff. So that's what I could be completely wrong here, but
Right.
that's from what I've seen when I've been following on like X and stuff and how they've sort of CD Projekt Red have been pushing out tweets and how they've been advertising recent stuff. That's my assessment of it. It might be completely wrong, but that is my opinion right there. What would you make it, Raw? What do you make of that?
No, we're on the exact same wavelength on that one, bro. That's exactly where my head was too. And in addition to that, another reason that I'm kind of excited or hopeful, like I'm hopeful for this. It's a brand new IP from someone that is like he's well established in the industry. I just seeing
Yeah,
something new because we get so much of the rehash BS. We get so many remakes, remasters. copy and paste, being safe, but it sounds like they're wanting to break free from that and do their own. Well, I mean, obviously they are breaking free from that and doing their own thing, and that alone is exciting in my eyes with the state of the
You s-
current industry, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, they have left CD Projekt Red for a reason. You know what I mean? To create this rebel. Obviously, everything wasn't rosy over there, I don't think, and there was clearly different opinions on what should be done and what should be written and what should be produced. And I think, yeah, this is their opportunity to, obviously they've started Rebel Wolves, create their own stuff, and like I said before, have the shackles like unlocked and just create what they want and take the risk, as they say.
Great. Yeah, good to see you, Mr. Hey Hey Hey. And Inner Void. Yeah, shout out to Patty for Blue's new avatar. It's amazing. We were discussing Blood of Dawnwalker, new game being made by the old Witcher 3 director, branched off and making their own studio. Good to see you this morning. Yeah, that's really about all I have to really cover with that one. Is there anything else that you wanted to say or add to it? Oh, if you guys are interested, we're not going to show it here for obvious reasons, but they have been releasing new cinematic trailers for the game, kind of showcasing some of the key characters in the game. If you want to see more of Blood of the Dawnwalker, definitely check them out on YouTube. Uh, yeah, they've been putting out some pretty good stuff. And speaking of trailers, I wasn't really planning on talking about this. But like 40 minutes before we went live, CD Projekt Red, oh my God, we're on CD Projekt Red. Warhorse Studios released a new cinematic trailer for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It's all CGI, but it was awesome. Amazing little 40-second trailer if you guys want to check that one out as well. Uh, On to a little bit more disheartening news. Wes Johnson. Many of us know Wes Johnson through his work as Share Gorath in The Elder Scrolls. What were some of the key ones you said he had in Fallout Blue? Do you have that?
Yeah, so I've got it pulled up because me and Rob were talking off stream, and I follow Wes Johnson on X and also Instagram. The main character you just rattled off there was Shai Garth, and I think he was amazing, and
Yes.
the Elder Scrolls, absolute class. But then I started, I didn't realize how many characters he's actually voiced during his times in Bethesda games, and some of them shocked me. A few of them. I didn't know he was the voice character for Mr. Burke in Fallout 3. That blew me away. I was like, what? He
Right.
was he was him as well. I was like, wow. And also Fox, if you remember Fox, the friendly super mutant companion that
Yep.
you can get in Fallout 3, he voiced him as well, and I was just like, oh Jesus, that's awesome, because I genuinely didn't know. I knew he was involved in Bethesda games, and he's more the characters that I was aware of. Obviously, like I said, Shea Gareth, but there was other ones like he did the voices for the Daedric princes as well, like Malakath, Molag Bal,
Oh, I
just to
didn't
name a
realize
few. But
those either. That's crazy.
yeah, and like he done the guy, the speaker for the Dark Brotherhood. Is it Lucian? He did
Yeah,
him as
loosen
well,
the chance.
and also another one that the Grey Fox that you meet, the leader of the Thieves Guild as well. That's in Oblivion. But yeah, he did them. So I've got a list that I was kind of gobsmacked. I didn't realize that he did so much. He was the Silver Shroud in Fallout 4 as well. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, but no, that was like just sorry to Roz obviously got some news about this, but that I'm just I want to sort of bring to people's attention if they were like myself and didn't realize how many voices he actually did. But yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
Rob, go ahead. You
No,
want to
you're
talk about the,
good.
the
You're
actual
good.
topic itself?
It's important to know who these people are. Voice actors are kind of like, I, they make these games, like they make these characters who they actually are. Like you have to have the writers and everyone to give them their personality, but the real the character comes from these people, like they're the ones that bring Cher Gora to life, that cheese loving maniac. This is the man that really gave him that voice and gave him that persona that we really know. The reason that we're bringing him up though, he was on the way to host a charity event, and he was found in his hotel room after going MIA for a while. His wife had paramedics show up. He was found with almost no pulse and barely breathing yesterday morning my time. Within the past couple of hours actually, his wife updated everyone saying that he is awake and talking, but just a little out of it. He's still in ICU, but far more stable. Specialists have a theory on what the health issue is, and they're running tests to zero in on the cause. We'll keep everyone updated. Glad to hear that he is doing well. When this news first went out that he had become hospitalized and was barely holding in, or hanging on, excuse me, they started a GoFundMe for him and raised about $140,000. That is amazing. Seeing the love and compassion that these people have, or not these people, that we have for this man, you know? Like, it is good to see the community come together. Shout out to Fallout for Hope for keeping everyone updated on this. And if I'm not mistaken, they may be the one that actually put together that fundraiser. If I'm wrong on that, please correct me or please understand. Like, take that with a grain of salt. But either way, I'm glad to hear that he's doing well. I hope that he makes a full recovery, and hopefully they can get whatever health concern he does have taken care of.
Yeah, I'd just like to echo what Ross says. Like from the guys at the RawCast, we like send like our wishes to the family and stuff like that, and hope all is well. Obviously, hope he is okay and he gets better very very soon.
Yep. Yep. Voice actors are important as extras in the background of movies, and yeah, pretty much, if not more so, AI. It definitely, if not more so.
100%. Sorry if I'm just going to interject here a little bit. I'm going to talk about like sort of some of the voice actors that I've experienced during playing Fallout, like as a whole. Like I think going back to talking about Fallout 1, some of the best voice actors, the talking heads in that were amazing.
Right.
You had so many good characters, and my favourite character in that is Lieutenant, who is he is the right hand man essentially to the master in Fallout 1, and his voice, I believe it's a guy called Tony J, and he kills it. He is amazing. Like the lieutenant is one of the super mutants that gets created, who how a lot of them are dumb and they can't they're just their intelligence is low. But he's one of the ones that's created that's like super super smart, and he's obviously the right hand man of the master for a reason. But yeah, he's essentially in charge of the Mariposa military base that the super mutants are all based at, and they go out and capture like humans to dip in FEV and stuff like that. But he's the sort of mastermind behind that, and the way. Honestly, you need to check out if you're not aware of it. Just YouTube Lieutenant and Fallout 1, and yeah, he's great. He captures you actually. There's options to he tries to, he tortures you, or you can side with him. You can tell him where your vault is and things like that. So yeah, it's really well done, man. But that's one of the ones that really spring to mind. But there's so many other ones. You've got, of course, you've got what we were talking about, and they've got voice clips of it on this channel already. Is Sergeant Dornan? He's
Yeah.
voiced. He's amazing. Honestly, the drill sergeant, great in Fallout 2. But yeah, those were the ones that kind of stick out. But yeah, a little bit of a tangent there on the voice acting, but yeah, they 100% agree with AI Colonel saying that they're so important in terms of creating that immersion and sort of realism in the game, gets you drawn in to actually like these characters. Yeah, fantastic stuff.
We're gonna completely flip the script now. Off from the depressive stuff. Well, I mean, honestly, it ended up being good news. At first, we were expecting to bring you guys bad news, but thank God that ended up being relatively lighthearted. He's being treated and on his way to recovery. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is about to burst at the seams if he cannot talk about Doom the Dark Ages.
Oh my God, I
I too am
swear to God.
excited for seeing it though, bro. You've got me even more hyped for it. Like just hearing the excitement in your voice. But please, take over.
Right, thanks, man. Right, so I watched the trailer a few days ago, whenever it was, and to be honest, I went into it thinking, this is going to be. I'm not. I don't know if it's going to be for me. Like the Dark Ages, is this going to be? Because I played games like Hexen and Heretic back in the day. Well, that were essentially like not, I was going to say add-ons, but they were separate games. They were standalone games, but they were based on like Doom, but it's set in a medieval era. But when I seen this trailer, I was just like, holy hell! They've just, they just nailed everything. Like I was just like, it's been a while since I watched a trailer where my jaw actually dropped. I was like, holy hell! And they kept on like, they just kept on amazing me with the trailer. But yeah, let's get into it. So Doom: The Dark Ages. What we know so far. So it's the next evolution of the Doom franchise, and it's made by id Software. It appears to be redefining what a Doom game can be, right? And I'll touch on it. I'll get into that a bit later. So it's set for release 2025, and it serves as a prequel to the 2016 game. So yeah, just bear that in mind. And it offers offering a deep dive into the origins of the Doomslayer himself. So there's going to be a bit of a bit of narrative and story to what this guy actually is and how he come about, while introducing a new immersive setting. And I'm going to quote this, in a techno medieval world. That's what's coming out here. That's from my research. So here's what we know so far, yeah, I'm going to just go into different topics, different sort of bullet points here. But yeah, it's a medieval yet tech-fueled setting. That's what we're getting here. So the move to a medieval setting isn't just like a stylistic shift. It's like a deliberate expansion of Doom's lore. So like I said before, this is going to kind of touch into the backstory of the Doom character himself, Doom guy. Unlike the hellish wastelands of the futuristic sci-fi bases of the past games, the Dark Ages situates the players in a realm where advanced technology is fused along with medieval aesthetics. So, like along the line, think of like knights with plasma forged swords and castles bristling with energy weapons. That's the best way I could describe it. But you'll explore the dark and sprawling world as the Doomslayer as we know today. And the campaign promises to be id Software's biggest ever. So this is the biggest ever campaign they're going to be doing, blending cinematic moments, linear action-packed sequences, and open-ended exploration in equal measure. So that's interesting. So straight away you're thinking that it's not going to be open world, but it's going to be a bigger place to explore with different sort of dynamics in there. So that's, to me, that's really, really cool and interesting. While the narrative tone, though, is still will lean into the heavy, over the top style of Doom. You know what Doom's like. It's a game you go into and you can switch off and just absolutely just decimate all these enemies with all these high powered weapons and stuff like that.
Rip and tear.
Yeah, rip and tear, man. That's it. But this is the one that really got me watching the trailer. Right, this is the one that kind of made me go, now this is really interesting and awesome. So I'm going to talk about the gameplay focus here, and they've used a quote saying they're focusing more on grounded combat, which I really, really like. So that's taking it back to the original Doom, right? So there's none of this like, there's going to be aspects of like using grappling hooks to get to higher areas and stuff like that. But you get what I'm saying with the grounded combat, right? What I'm going to say anyway is that it's more focused on, you're on the floor, you're more tanky, you're more of a tank instead of like flying around everywhere and jumping from ledge to ledge. But yeah, there's from what I've seen in the trailer, there was a lot of like melee combat in terms of using a shield, which I'll touch on later, which looks amazing.
Crazy.
Yeah,
replacing the chainsaw.
100%. So again, it's a significant departure from the not a significant, but it's a different style they're going for. And Doom has always been kind of like the ones that have came out 2016 about speed, fluidity, and chaos. But here, id Software is like pivoting a deliberate, sort of weighty combat style. This isn't to say the action will be less brutal or that. I'm not saying that, or intense. This is still Doom, but it emphasised stand and fight mechanics. So over endless sprinting and double jumping. Right, so that's cool. So I'm gonna I've broke it down here. From what I've seen in the trailer, like the new combat features, so strategic melee mechanics, right? So that like the shield saw, like I've just said, it looks amazing. It's already stealing the spotlight. That trailer. This weapon combines like offense and defense, allowing the players to block, parry, and rip enemies apart with precision. Mastery of the weapon is expected to be key for surviving all these tough battles and stuff. The combat, like I said, is slower but more methodical, introducing slow motion glory kills, and adds that level of control and cinematic flair. You've got, like I said before, large scale set pieces. So I'm talking about the area and stuff. And for the first time in Doom's history, this blew me away a little bit. You can ride a cybernetic dragon.
Yes,
when I saw that,
looks
I was just
crazy.
I was like, what is this? I was like, straight away, again, the skeptical side of me, I was like, what is this? But then when you've seen it in action and you've got these like guns attached to it and stuff, you can pilot or you can battle or pilot like this dragon and take out all these enemies. But also the other one was that 30-story mech that you can get in.
Yes.
I was like, no chance. I was like, no way, man. This is bringing elements into the Doom sort of franchise that I really, really like. They're just not, they don't just like novelties. It's like they look like they play a pivotal role as well in these like massive set piece battles, like the the sieges on like hellspawn infested fortresses. This is just from what I've seen in the trailer, do you know? But then, while it is a medieval theme, it might suggest a reliance on swords and things like that, bows, but don't worry about that. We've seen further in the trailer, this got plasma rifles, it's got rocket launchers, it's got chain guns, all these guns. And I tell you what, this is a key thing for me. For first-person shooter, the guns and the sort of melee combat have to be meaty. And he said that he addressed it straight away as well in the trailer. Said, we want the guns to feel, satisfying to use, loud, all that sort of stuff. And that to me, that was music to my ears. I'm going to keep going into it a bit raw because I don't want to talk too much into it. But straight away from what I've said, what do you make of what I've just talked about there?
Bro, I'm extremely excited for it. I saw an article that phrased it really well the other day. They were saying that if you compare Doom Eternal to Doom, the Dark Ages, Doom Eternal is like flying a fighter jet, and Doom, the Dark Ages, is more like driving a tank. You're going
Yeah,
from, like you were saying, the jumping around fast pace, like how Call of Duty transitioned into the like jetpacks and double jumping and the fast movement, sliding, all that, and
yeah.
then this is taking it more OG style, where you're just boots on the ground, ripping and tearing, not doing all the
That
artsy like over the top movements, you know?
Yeah. Just going on to a little bit more and talk about like sort of campaign. So the campaign, from what I've read, the Dark Ages promises to be id Software's most ambitious, right? So
Right,
players can expect a mixture of like linear storytelling, but also with the sprawling semi-open levels that encourage exploration, from
right,
like sort of cryptic ruins to grand castles, twisted hellscapes. The variety environment seems to keep the player constantly engaged, which I like. It just gives you that extra value in terms of gameplay. The level design seems to like embrace lessons from Doom Eternals, like you said, Rob, the platform heavy exploring, jumping while
right,
grounding it and to a more cohesive world. But this, like you've got the standard stuff that'll be in there, the secrets, the upgrades, and the hidden lore will definitely make a return. And the developers are leaning heavily into creating a more story-driven experience than any other Doom game before. So I think it's quite interesting. While Doom, like 2016 and Eternal, it sort of teased the Slayer's backstory, but the Dark Ages will lay it bare. So I like that, a little bit of backstory into this guy and who he is and what he's about. Um, one of the most exciting aspects of the game is its like focus on the story, like I said, the Doomslayer. It isn't just an excuse to kill demons, although let's be honest, that's the big part of it, right? That's
right.
a massive part of it. An exploration of who the Doomslayer was before he became the unrelenting force of destruction we know and love. So again, like I said, I'm echoing it, but I want to really say that. And the early glimpses of the story suggests we witness his transformation from a mortal warrior to a near like immortal demon slayer. Themes of like sacrificial betrayal and revenge are expected to underpin the narrative with more like sort of emotionally resonant core. Well, Doom has never been like a story first series. id Software seems confident enough to try this and be a bit risky, to like going back to what we were saying before. They're going to try something different. But yeah, the combat, the just everything about it, the gunplay, I'm just super hyped for it as well. Like can it top the previous Doom games? Because like I think I'm an old school Doom player. I played the first one up on the 3DO of all things. If anybody remembers that.
Really, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, the 3DO. I played Doom for the first time, and there was things in that game that I noticed that were just different to other games. Obviously, the game itself was, didn't mess around. It was a first-person shooter that you could just absolutely decimate these enemies. But there was things in it that just got me. Little attention to detail where, like, if an enemy like if there was a friendly fire incident between two enemies, they would start attacking each other, and I'd be like, "Wow, like that's the AI for the time. That's really cool." It's like you got those imps that fire the fireballs. They would hit one of the pinkies, the big pinky demon guys,
Right.
and they would start scrapping each other, and I was like, that's really well done, because you didn't get that in other games. But the key things about Doom though is just like the weapons, all the good stuff, the satisfying gunplay. It's just something I'm really really excited for. Is there anything else that caught your eye in that trailer, Raw?
Uh, Not that I could think of specifically from the trailer. I mean, you have some of the like, I guess, quote unquote medieval fantasy aspects now, where it's like he interacted with some artifact and then it did the effect that was like some energy
Yeah,
flowing through his body and into his eyes. Like, I'm interested to see how they do the medieval take on it. Like, it looks pretty sick. The one thing that I'm cautiously optimistic about, you said that they're really making an emphasis that they're putting more of a story driven side to this whole thing, right? Which
Yeah,
would be cool. It would be a nice change of pace if it does have an interesting story. That's what I'd say that's like my one big thing with Doom when we're talking like modern Doom, right? Bethesda's new
yeah.
or id's new modern Doom. The story, I haven't really cared for it. Like, to be honest with you, I was always like, hurry up, let me skip this, let me skip this. I'm not interested in what's going on. Just let me rip and tear. That's all I
Yep.
wanted to do. But maybe that's because it was more fast paced. Maybe the slower, little bit more methodical with the story. Maybe it will mesh well together. You get what I'm saying? But
No,
we'll
definitely. I
see.
definitely. I think like me personally, I've always wanted to know what the Doom guy was all about because the only story from like that I can recall from I'm talking about the first Doom game here, the very first original,
All right.
was that he was on Mars and the gates of hell's opened and all
Mm-hmm.
his marine buddies have been killed and he's alone and he's ripping and tearing. But just I genuinely I'm one of those people that like to know about a bit of lore and like the backstory and stuff like that. I know it's not an RPG, but it's just nice to get that little bit of background and actually know what this guy is all about, what he was when he was slightly younger and all that sort of stuff, how he came about. But no, it definitely can I agree what you said because the move to make the Doom more narrative driven might ruffle a few feathers among the purists,
Right.
definitely. The Doomslayer's always been like a silent protagonist with his story being told through actions rather than words. However, if it's done right, this deeper delve into his origins could be what propels the franchise into a new creative territory. You never know. So there's like positives and negatives. I think coming into it with an open mind is great. And I cannot believe I've not mentioned the music. My God, the music
Yeah.
in that. Yes, please. I heard the music, like the music in the background of the trailer. Get that injected into my veins. Unbelievable stuff. I love it. I love the metal. You can't play a Doom game without that metal stuff going on. Even from the first games, the what was it, the song E1M? Is it EM? It's like Mission One
Right.
music. It's so good. But then hearing like obviously the updated versions of 2016 with Rip and Tear and all that, oh, just good. And I actually went on a YouTube, rabbit hole. Went down a YouTube rabbit hole and started googling, YouTube and metal covers that guys have done, and some of them are just ridiculously good, man. Oh, it's just good. Like slaying demons with the meaty guns and the metal. That's a game for me, definitely.
Right. See, Bud, I know Bud's a OG fan. He's saying right now that the QTE was a bad decision, talking about in the modern Dooms. I mean, yes and no. I get how it was implemented. I don't really mind the implementation of it, like going up and doing the little quick time event to tear enemies apart. Like if they're flashing, what is it, red gives you ammo, and when they're flashing blue, it gives you health. I kind of like that mechanic personally, but I could understand like it's not for everyone.
Are you talking about? Sorry, are you talking about? It was something I was gonna bring up actually. In some like I'm gonna generalize it to first person games, first person shooters anyway, but the sort of UI that's in front of you on the screen, like when it comes to like let's say Doom for example, when it gives you the ability to do a glory kill, whatever you call it, a
Right.
finisher. What's your opinions on that? It's like, see, I want as less of that as possible. I know it has to be implemented in some of these games, but when it comes to um, everything being a bit too flashy and stuff like that, I like we just keep it a bit more gritty and realistic. But I know that some of these features have to be in there because it'll make the gameplay a lot more fluid and cohesive. I think, but I tend to like Cyberpunk. I'm going to use that. Seeing the numbers come up when you shoot somebody. I don't like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion, though. A lot of people it doesn't bother, but I just like it to be more like gritty and realistic. What's your opinions on that, Raw?
I mean, it's kind of a game by game basis. Like I was saying, I don't necessarily mind it in Doom, and like Bud pointed out, you can actually disable the glowing overlay in the game's menus. Like you can go in and disable the whole flashing red and blue effect. So if you want that turned off, you don't even have to look at it. I think it does kind of vary game by game and the type of game. Cyberpunk, I definitely keep the numbers turned off. Doom, I would prefer to have more of a clean, minimalistic aesthetic. But playing something like Borderlands, Borderlands is filled with visual clutter. Sometimes it is
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
overbearing, but at the same time, it's kind of been a thing since the beginning, you know? It kind of
It's
varies
funny.
game by game.
It's funny. Sorry to interrupt, Rob. It's funny because I'm gonna answer a question in chat here. So, Patty, excuse me, he's saying, Blue, I saw you were playing Armour Reforged a while ago. How does that hold up to the other Armour games? Now, I will answer that question, but I'll kind of loop it round to what you were saying. So Armour, right, is like I mentioned it before. I think you've come a bit you've come in a bit because I talked about it earlier in the stream. However, the UI and the display for that is, there's next to nothing on it. You're bringing up a compass. You're having to press buttons to bring up compasses and stuff like that. And I kind of like that. I like that realism and having a clear screen, not too much clutter. And Armour is definitely like that. How does it hold up to the other Armour games? It's fantastic. I've been having a great time on it so far. If you like the other Armour games, this is right up your street in terms. And it's a different, like what I've been playing is a different game mode as well, where it's like you're capturing points, you're doing supply runs to other points to keep your teammates. So it's like hugely team orientated. Obviously covering comms with other people and stuff. But I will say it's what you expect from it. It's quite slow paced, but it's got everything that you would expect from an Armour game. So yeah, it's a thumbs up from me. I got it gifted, like I said earlier, from a friend. So I recommend it. I was talking to Rob about it as well. But yeah, sorry, answered that question. But yeah, the whole UI aspect and having too much clutter, I'm not a big fan. There are some games that need it, but some like you said, Raw, like Doom, I would have it toned down, right?
Right, for sure. And Patty, hope you're doing well. Hope you start feeling a little bit better. Thank you again. If you didn't see it, definitely check out the beginning of the stream. Shout out to Patty for all the amazing artwork over here. We'll give
Yeah,
you
that's why
all
I
the
take this opportunity.
recognition.
So take this opportunity as well to say thank you. That was Patty that created the little avatar of Captain Rhodes and Power Armor there, the
Yeah.
Enclave stuff. So again, thank you very much, Patty. And also, yeah, check out the intro, man. It's sick.
Is there anything else that you're looking to cover on Doom specifically, Blue?
Um, Sort of closing thoughts though on Doom.
Okay.
Obviously you can tell by my voice and stuff that I'm excited with it for this game, definitely 100%. But it's Doom, the Dark Ages. It feels like the most ambitious project in the franchise to date. By obviously embracing, like we touched on, embracing slower, more strategic combat, and like I quote this, a techno medieval world, and a deeper focus, a deeper narrative focus, should I say? Id Software is boldly experimenting with what Doom can be. Whether these changes will resonate with the fans of the series, they like the fast-paced formula remains to be seen. But the one thing is, the Dark Ages is set to push the boundaries of the FPS genre. So, me personally, I'm really, really excited for this game, and I can't wait to be ripping and tearing.
Oh man. Ladies and gentlemen, while we may have moved on from the topic, Stalker 2 is still in my heart. And I'm still keeping tabs on this game, believe it or not. I know we haven't been playing it much lately, but Stalker 2 has received its latest update, patch 1.1.4. It's primarily a console-related update from what I've seen, but it has done basic things, stability. It seems like I know a fair few of you are playing on console. For those of you that are playing on console, let us know if you've experienced these issues that we're about to discuss. The major notes of this patch include fixing an issue where the game was deleting save files. Bro, that is crazy. That is especially in this
That's
type of
honestly,
game where it could be
yeah.
hours between saves. Like, you're just roaming the wasteland and forget to save here and there, you know? The amount of progress, the amount of time that you could waste on that is heart-wrenching. Like, especially with how long that game is. Like, even if you're just pushing through the story, that's still a fairly long game, you know?
Yeah, that would kill me, mate. That would absolutely kill me if I. That's kind of one of the little things. I heard a rumor about it that the save your save games might be compromised. So that's one of the reasons that I kind of took a step back. It was a bit disheartening hearing that. But this patch itself, I know you're going to sort of touch into it a little bit in more detail, Rob. But apparently this is a smaller one compared to a bigger one that's coming up, right?
Right, right. This is like the pre-patch patch. Like,
Yeah,
this was a 13 gigabyte patch. I'd say the next one's probably going to be huge. I know the first major patch for this game was what, like 50 or 100 gigabytes, something like that? Like the
yeah.
very first major one. And this is a tiny one. It's like 13 gigs in comparison. And they said that it's leading up to a more serious patch coming soon. In addition to the major save file being erased, there's also it fixed issues A bug that was causing crashes and freezes during shader compilation, a memory leak in raw stock zone of the map, a glitch that was leading to performance degradation after aiming or shooting weapons on very long playthroughs. Excuse me? Aiming my gun and shooting my gun is gonna cause my game to crash more? Like, the more you aim, the more you shoot is gonna crash more. That's crazy. And
Yeah,
crashes caused
that's
by UI animations. Whoa. Whoa.
yeah. I experienced the shader one on load up. I've had that crash, but it's not happened since. But yeah, I was not aware of that one. The what you just said there about the like zooming in weapons and things like that. That kind of reminded me of Starfield a little bit because I was having performance issues with when zooming in certain scopes. Yeah, but yeah, hopefully they address that quickly. My biggest gripe's I just want the FPS to be solid, really
Yeah.
really solid, because
Yeah.
it's like for me it's inconsistent in certain what do you call it, certain areas, especially the town areas. I hate that. I actually genuinely hate that. Again, I'm going to reference Starfield because I think we talked about it, Roy. Remember going into Aquila City? That was the sort of test to see if your rig was okay or the game was
Yes.
optimized. Yeah, remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. So like I've been doing that. I've been going into and I've had to tweak settings, but I don't want to do that because now Starfield actually addressed that issue. I can go anywhere and it's fine, and I just want that to be uh, like that is in Stalker. I think it's a CPU thing, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. In terms of NPCs and assets, loading assets,
Right.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I just hope they get that sorted in this next big patch.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Starfield, you could kind of power through it with a higher end system, but it was still rough. They have it at a much more stable spot. Like Stalker 2, though, like, even on higher end systems, like, we both have a relatively high end system. We're not 50, 90 level high end, but uh relatively high end systems, and it's still like bringing our systems to their knees at some points, especially around what's the opening little town? Like right there, the crap.
I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, it's the with you first meet the ward and all that sort of stuff. Yeah,
Right, yeah. The opening little town, it's just a relatively small village and there's really not that many NPCs there. It's maybe like 10, 15 people, but it still just crushes performance.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I would be happy to see this game become a lot more stable. I do plan on playing this game for a very long time and I do want to bring it back to the channel. We've just been busy. Uh,
Can I just intersect for a
yeah,
second?
please.
I just want to say, Enclave here.
Hey, that is a thing. I'll
Uh,
let you guys know after the Rawcast. I'll tell you about that one. I'll
I
answer that
just
in
I,
more detail.
I just seen Patty's comment. He's saying off
Yeah.
topic but the second Enclave here video. I got to know your guys' thoughts on it. And well, you've seen the chats, the responses in Discord. We absolutely loved it. I loved it. It was great,
Yes.
absolutely great. Why isn't your video feed working? Love it,
Uh,
absolutely love it.
seem to be stuck on Borderlands right now. Take-Two Interactive taking over or owning Gearbox now. That could, oof, oof. Borderlands 2 was the pinnacle of Borderlands. Borderlands 3 refined the gunplay gameplay side perfectly. If they could take like Borderlands 2 level of writing and storytelling and combine that with Borderlands 3 update to the engine, that would be sensational. But now that it's owned by Take-Two Interactive, I don't have much hope for the future of the series, and especially with like we were touching on earlier with what could be coming to the oh my God, bro. The reason that the director broke away to make Blood of the Dawnwalker, same type of reasoning,
Yeah,
DEI,
yeah, yeah.
all that, yeah. I'm not too optimistic about a new Borderlands, especially after that movie. Trash went to the movie review. Yeah, Civi has a great breakdown of that movie. If you guys have not seen it, Civi's an awesome content creator in general. If you guys don't know who that is,
Yeah, he's good, isn't he? I've seen a lot of his. I think I've watched a lot of his older um coverage of like excuse me, the boomer shooters like Blood and Duke Nukem and
yes,
all that.
yes. See, I didn't have a PC back in the day, like I didn't get on PC gaming until relatively recently, thanks to my wife. But I never even heard of a lot of the old stuff like Blood, Hexen, oh crap, what are some of the like
There was so many I could rattle them off. So
oh
there was
like
Shadow Warrior, there was Shadow
Daikatana.
Warrior,
Yeah.
yeah, Blood, Hexen, Heretic. There's obviously Doom. There's Wolfenstein, Duke Nukem. Ah, there was so many. Christ, like, and then you look at the obviously Blood 2 as well. Blood 2 was released, but they were all great fun to play. Just like like what the Doom Dark Ages game is going to be like. Just like you jump in there and just start smashing people up.
Need to dabble in Blood sometime. It's good. We may do that at some point. Have like a boomer shooter night. Why not? Sounds like a good time.
Blood has one of my favorite protagonists. Oh, Patty, if you want to do something, if you want to do some voice clips, go and find the lead protagonist of Blood. What's his name? Is it Caleb? He's got some of the best quotes. He's the funniest quotes man, honestly, in the Blood franchise. That's one of the reasons Blood's so awesome is the lead protagonist, but also the gameplay itself. You jump in there, and again, like I've just said, but you just go in and start. I think you start off with a pitchfork. And then you find a flare gun, and then from that you get a shotgun. It's all your typical boomer shooter style, and then you eventually get a Tommy gun. But yeah, some of the cultists that you fight, some of the things they shout out as well, it's unbelievable, man. It's such a great game. I remember getting it on shareware back in the day. That's how long ago it was.
Yeah, that's wild. Guys, it's time for a bit more bad news, and this one is extremely heartbreaking. This one hurt me when I read it, and I still don't want to believe it, but I fully understand why. Those of you that remember a few weeks ago, we took a look at Fallout Nuevo Mexico, a fantastic looking. It's a fantastic looking mod. It's on the level of like Fallout London. Completely new world space, completely new story, completely new everything. Taking its own design choices, making its own. They had vehicles, man. They had vehicles. They had so much stuff. Anyway, this is from the lead of Fallout Nuevo Mexico. They posted up this heartbreaking post in Discord. It says, from Mr. Doe, hey everyone, I know this isn't the kind of news you were expecting to see today, and trust me, it's not easy for me to write this either. After a lot of reflection, I made the difficult decision to cancel Fallout Nuevo Mexico. This project has been my passion, my obsession, and a huge part of my life for years. I poured thousands of hours into it, late nights, early mornings, and everything in between. I met amazing people along the way, some who have long-term friends, helped me grow and evolve into a better person. Some of the best moments of my life have been spent bringing this world to life, and I'll always be proud of the work we accomplished. But as much as I love the project, I need to prioritize my mental health and face reality. The team is small, less than four. And I'm gonna pause right there. If you guys remember that trailer, the fact that four people have been working on this, like they had to be working day in and day out, sun up to sundown, day after day
Yep,
after day. Like,
it's incredible, man. Just yeah, four people to do that, and like you've seen the level of polish just on that trailer itself. You just think, oh well, what's that game going to be like? Well, what was it going to be like?
yeah,
And it's really sad, but at the same time, you have to understand if this is like if this was affecting mental health and things like that, I can see why they've made this decision. It's really really sad, but the fact that I'm surprised that they didn't gather more of a following in terms of more devs, more people to work on the game as
yeah,
well, because
yeah,
because from that trailer, if you were a Fallout enthusiast in terms of a modder or whatever, surely I'd be jumping all over that. I'd be like, right, get me in there. I want to help these guys out, and it's just unfortunate that you know it's not took off in terms of that. I just hope that it doesn't discourage these guys in the future. To like the Fault London team. You see the success they had. Excuse me. I just don't want them to be discouraged um, and not be ambitious and try these awesome mods. Like actually complete them and things like that. Because you've seen a lot of them getting cancelled recently, haven't you? We've seen
yeah.
the Fallout sort of remake getting canned as well, and yeah, it's
Oh
just
yeah,
sad,
Vault
but
13. Vault 13 just
yeah,
got canceled.
yeah. So a lot of them have, like you said, Rod, they've been clearly working day and night. and obviously a lot of them have probably got families and stuff like that, and it's just sad that they've not had extra support, shall I say.
It's extremely disheartening. I had the trailer pulled up in the background while you were talking, and just looking at this again, this hurts. This one hurts. This feels like a whole new Fallout game was in the works and it just got canceled. It, not to discredit what Vault 13 or what was it called? Oh crap.
Yeah, it was Vault 13. That was the Fallout one.
Okay, yeah,
Fallout
not to
1. Yeah.
discredit them. I really wanted this one. I really wanted this one. It's something there. As soon as we saw it, it kind of came out of nowhere and it left just as soon as it got here. That one hurts. I'll carry on reading the rest of the thing if you would like.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Okay, the team is small, less than four, the workload enormous, and the cost ahead, both financial and personal, are too great. Continuing forward simply isn't sustainable for me and everyone involved, including voice actors. Letting go of something you poured your heart into is painful, but it's necessary. These truly are the best. These truly were days of wine and roses. I'll always cherish them. To everyone who supported this project, from the kind words, feedback, the excitement, to just believing in what we were trying to create, thank you from the bottom of my heart. This message covers everything, so I kindly ask for your understanding. As Fallout New Vegas, Dead Money taught us, but getting there, that's not the hard part. It's letting go. God. God, what a heartbreak. Man, put goosebumps on me. That letting go line, that hurts.
Yeah, it's like I said, I feel like really bad for them as well. I'm so I think they just needed more. They needed more support. Clearly, they needed more support
Yeah.
and a bigger team. To do this. But hats off to them for the effort in the first place, because I can just imagine how much blood, sweat, and tears I've went into it so far. And unfortunately, it's not going to get complete. But yeah, uh, it's unfortunate, and I just hope that this isn't a this doesn't happen to any other modern community, sort of modern teams. I hope it's more like Fallout London.
Yeah. Hopefully they can make a return one day. Hopefully the work doesn't go to waste. Like Patty was saying, hopefully at least some of the assets can make a entry into Fallout New Vegas, Like they already have the assets created. It would be amazing if some of that could get released. Um yeah, that's about that though. There's not too much going on in the games industry that this community over here necessarily has interest in. There's speculation that GTA 6 could be launching at $100 price tag. There's been a lot of talks in the game industry about prices going up and basing playtime and experience time, basing the cost of a game on how long it actually takes to complete. I wasn't planning on talking about this, but do you want to have the discussion kind of go into that a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead. You can run with that.
So the concept that some people in the industry kind of want to push for is that if you create a game that it's like 100 hour, 200 hour, 300 hour game, right? Something on the scale of like The Witcher 3 or something like that, Grand Theft Auto 6, for example. Those type of games should cost more because you're getting your money's worth. You're getting $100 experience versus something releasing at $60 that takes like 20 hours to complete, right? I
Yeah.
don't. God, I hate where the industry is going, man. Like this is just another example of like these corporations getting so greedy. If Grand Theft Auto 6 releases at $100 price tag and you want me to buy that on PlayStation 5, and then it re-releases again a year or two later on PC and you want me to buy it again for $100 there, and then you start infesting it with shark cards because I promise you there is no way Rockstar is moving away from shark cards. The hundreds of billions of dollars that they made off Grand Theft Auto 5, you out of your damn mind if you think that they're gonna let that go. Grand Theft Auto 6 is gonna be nothing but it's a money printing machine already. Please spare my wallet that extra $40. Well, I guess $30 at this point, because now average game prices have already went up to $70, right? Like,
Yeah, I'm not. It's crazy, like especially like the UK right now. There's a cost of living crisis as well,
yeah,
and you know to be to expect to pay that sort of money, they must be out of their mind. I don't understand how they don't see that. And I can't speak for what it's like in the US, but in the UK, money's tight. Not everyone's can just chuck around stuff and have like massive Steam libraries and things like that. And I just think it's asking a lot. It's taking the piss, to be fair. It's actually taking the piss. And especially like you said, like if it's going to be like all these microtransactions and stuff
Yeah.
involved as well, man. Nah, it is taking the piss. That's genuinely my thoughts on it in a nutshell. I don't think I can elaborate it any more, any further, should I say? But yeah, I just when it comes to that, I will not be paying that for I think 60 quid for me is the high, and it has to be a game that I really 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 want to play. I know that it's going to be genuine polish, or I trust the studio, but when it comes to paying over 60, you are taking the piss.
Yeah, without a doubt, I'm right there with you. Some of the new games that are coming out, they're pushing like $70 price tags and stuff. Dude, it's kind of swayed me away. That extra $10 actually means something right now. Like it's that extra $10 is everything, especially with how half-baked a lot of modern games are, and then the agendas being pushed, all the nonsense of the modern games industry. Steam Family Library can help buff your game. Yeah, without a doubt, smooches. The thing is, like, it depends on your situation. I created my own Steam Family Library for my family, and I'm really the main gamer, so it's not doing much for me. It's helping them. But it can do that. You can click up with some people. Definitely share your Steam library if possible. That's definitely one way to kind of work around that. Um. Yeah, I mean, kind of on the same note as all this, I was reading an article a couple days ago. Let me pull it up real fast. Right here.
I'm just laughing at Smooch's comment. Quid for thee, quid for me. Yeah, quid. Yeah.
So, U.S. physical game spend has halved since 2021. I mean, this is kind of to be expected at this point. People are paying for convenience over actual ownership. That is my biggest take on that whole thing. The the physical games have been dying out for a whole lot of reasons. Like the main one obviously being convenience. It's easier to have like say your Steam library or PlayStation library and not have to worry about the physical disc getting scratched up or getting broken or getting lost or slower load times off of disc, stuff like that. Like there's a convenience factor, but at the same time, we're also becoming more complacent, and a lot of people are becoming more comfortable with the fact that you don't actually own anything anymore. And going all digital really reinforces that. Like Steam has straight up came out and said that you don't own a single one of those games in your library. You just have access to play them unless they get revoked, Like that hurts. And the fact that more consoles like the PlayStation 5 Pro, the newest modern console doesn't even have a disk drive, right? And the newer revisions of the Xbox Series consoles don't have disk drives.
Yeah, I mean, I, I I miss not having a disk drive, even just to use like see back in the day, like my Xbox was essentially my DVD player as well. Do you know
Right.
what I mean? Obviously DVDs, they're gone pretty much, but yeah, I just like having the physical copies. I liked having them there, and just being able to have them on my shelf, look at them, have the instruction manuals or whatever it is. This I'm talking about games in particular here,
Yeah.
but I miss that kind of stuff. But yeah, the fact that they're expecting you to pay over like 60 quid, like and like then 100 quid, for something that you don't physically own. It's like, get out of here, man.
It's a race to the bottom for most AAA studios. And yeah, boy, I'm kind of right there with you. The majority of them definitely on a downward spiral. And like we were touching on the other day, just on a random stream, it kind of on the console side of everything is kind of also boiling down to um competition breeding innovation, and there's not much competition. Xbox doesn't really like they're just pushing for Game Pass, they're not worried about first party exclusives and stuff like that. Not like they used to be. They used to actually try to compete against Sony, and Sony was dominating them on the PlayStation side. Like God, we were just talking about this a couple days ago, Blue. What all the so PlayStation 4 era, it made sense to own a PlayStation 4 console over an Xbox because they had amazing first party exclusives coming out. You're talking about The Last of Us, God of War, Uncharted, um, Gran Turismo, I mean Ratchet and Clank, if you're into that kind of thing, Astro Bot, because you know how good of a game Astro Bot is. Um, they had all these amazing first party exclusives, and it's like since Xbox hasn't really been trying, Sony hasn't really been trying. And what have they released? Like, what is the reason to own a PlayStation 5 right now? It's the exact same reason, like going on with this article talking about gaming, like physical gaming have since 2021. You also got to realize that there's articles being pushed out right now about the study of PC gaming. PC gaming has recently surpassed the sales of console gaming. So everyone's moving over to PC, and like you were talking about with disk drives, what modern PC, who do you know that has a PC with a disk drive in it? You know, unless you're like a real heavy enthusiast, like my server has a disk drive, which I plan on using sometime soon. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Um, but yeah, it's we
I think I,
gotta
me-
go ahead.
I think I mentioned. Sorry, but I think I mentioned it before. Excuse me. Where I ditched my consoles years ago. I've not I've just been constantly PC and upgrading it and stuff like that. But I ditched it so many years back, and it's sad because I loved my consoles. I loved the console with a disc drive or whatever, and I loved being able to just play media on them and stuff like that. But now, again, gonna don't want to like repeat yourself, but having no physical copies, yeah, it's kind of sad, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think it's kind of it might partially be a nostalgia factor, but I genuinely do miss that ride home after picking up a new game, you know? And I mean, even becoming more mature, I was there for the Grand Theft Auto 5 midnight release, like the original PlayStation 3 360 midnight release, right? And on the way home, checking out the cover art on the box, opening that thing up, seeing the pamphlet inside, seeing like it's something just it's you own it. Like there's a sense of ownership and like this is mine. And I actually get a look at it. I get to throw it up on the shelf with the rest of the museum back behind me. And I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's because we're getting old. Like maybe
I
that's
think
what it is.
so I remember like going back to the cost of the games, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, so when I had a Super Nintendo, an SNES, or whatever, however you want to say it, um, games for that were $60 or 60 quid, right?
yeah.
And man, like as like a young like I was lucky. My gran used to buy me these games for 60 quid, and I was like, my gran was an absolute legend, man. God rest her soul. But she bought me those games, and I was so excited. Like you said, you know, we would go to the shops, get the game. She would buy me it, and I'd be on the bus with the instruction manual, reading about it, so hyped about to play it. I don't know, this is all kind of nostalgia, but I miss that kind of stuff, and the fact that we can't do that anymore. Yeah, it's sad, but the price of games at the same time, I look back and I go, I was probably well, for a fact I was getting ripped off having to pay 60 quid for an SNES game, and now they're charging like 100 quid for something you don't even own. Like I said, it just blows my mind a little bit.
And real quick, kind of on this same vein, like I see you guys were talking about cloud gaming and having a proper internet access. There, I brought this up in Mantis's stream the other day. What is your take on? Actually, I already know your take. I hate the fact that a lot of offline single player with no multiplayer aspect games are releasing and requiring an internet connection and an account. But I think I saw you bring that up a little bit ago too, like having to have a PlayStation account to, or having to have an account to play The Last of Us Part 2, or like play God of War on PC, or why? Why? There's not even a multiplayer aspect. You know, why do I have to have an internet connection? And see that it starts to invalidate stuff like portable handhelds. I got the Steam Deck, right? I
Is that
put
not is that just sorry, mate? Is that not just about like trying to basically steal your data?
it has to be. It has to be. It's another invasive measure to make sure that they can do that, or make sure that if they want to revoke your license to the game, they can at any point, making sure that you can't play it without internet connection. That way, say they want to revoke the game, they want to pull it down off of marketplaces, they want to pull your copy. You don't have a choice because you have to have an internet connection, meaning that you will have to receive that update and lose that game. I put Zombie Army 4 on my Steam Deck and was planning on to play that on a flight a few months back. And I put it on, I logged in, I did the initial login and thought I was going to be good, but come like when it was time to get on the plane, I got the error message saying that I have to activate the game, or I have to log in every single time. Like anytime I try to use the game, I have to first log in with the internet connection, then I can disable my internet and continue playing. Like, what? Bro, what is that?
Yeah, I'm sick of that stuff. That's all I'll say about it. Sick of
Yeah.
it.
Need a PlayStation account on PC to play Helldivers 2. Yeah,
Yeah, that was controversial.
this is sort of an argument against a live service game. I mean, not really. I'm talking about single player, offline experiences, like just story driven, single player, no multiplayer aspects. Why do I need an online account for that? That's more
I
so
hear you.
what we're talking about, smooches. Like that. Uh, I mean, I'm getting tired of everything having to be a live service too. I will say that. I think the gaming community as a whole is kind of swaying away from that. We've seen a hell of a lot of live service games try to make an appearance and just completely bomb. I mean, for multiple reasons. It's not just for being live service, but we see more and more of those failing. You know? Good to see you, Canes. Good to see you, Mateo. If you're still here, I did see you pop up for a minute. Nice to see you in here as well. Yeah. I think that's about all we really got to ramble on about. We covered all the major topics, kind of went on some tangents. Is there anything specific in the industry you want to discuss, Blue? Is there anything that you guys have seen going on lately that you'd like us to cover briefly before we come to a close?
No, like you say, we've covered everything that was on our itinerary, and going back, I'm super hyped for Doom the Dark Ages just to play that. I'm actually tempted to reinstall the 2016 version just for the music and the guns. I'm actually tempted just to go back and give that and smash through that because yeah, no, I just want a game that like a in the same vein as Space Marine 2 where I can just jump in and have fun. But yeah, looking forward to that.
Um,
Keynes is mentioned in Assassin's Creed Shadows.
yeah, I see that.
Jeez,
No,
I think that's we we've not got time at the minute, but I think we could cover that in another podcast. But I've
eh,
seen
we could run
I've
through it real fast. I just pulled up an article. If you have like 5 minutes.
yeah, yeah. But right, to summarize, that game looks like a dumpster fire, to use your American quote.
Yeah,
It looks it's just so. Oh God, Ubisoft. Yeah, we could talk about Ubisoft
whoa,
and Assassin's Creed. They are the layoffs they've recently had due to their failures
yeah,
is like mind blowing, man. But that game, in my opinion, I think that game's going to bomb. It's not gonna do well for various reasons. Politically,
right,
all the sort of issues that seems to be stirring up trouble in the gaming industry, like the race swaps, all the DEI stuff, blah blah blah, all that stuff. But it's not just that, but I think they've actually offended a lot of the Japanese community and things like that, just with what the decisions they've made and how they've doubled down on them. And yeah, I just think that's
it,
gonna. I'm not buying it because it's Ubisoft for one, and two,
yeah,
I just don't like the look of it. I don't like what they've done to it, and it's just it's not what I expect. I remember playing all the older Assassin's Creed games. I absolutely adore Black Flag. Black Flag is by far my favorite one. That was amazing, honestly, and to see where it is, the sort of the path it's going down now in terms of the newest game. No, it's a no for me. Raw, what do you make it?
I mean, it's gonna be a no for me. Like we talked about the other night, I don't know the last time I actually bought a Ubisoft game. I was a fan of the first three Assassin's Creed games. They kind of lost me after that. I didn't give Black Flag a chance because I was already losing interest in the repetition. But in the last like 24, 48 hours, Ubisoft has been making a lot of headlines. Kane, so thank you for bringing this to our attention. Like, Ubisoft lays off 185 employees, shuts down a UK studio. That happened within the past day or so. Another 185 people without a job in the games industry. Like, awesome. And then one of the major, more recent headlines, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Japanese rating board demands changes to Assassin's Creed Shadows. Will be censored in Japan when it releases in March 2025, is detailed by developer publisher Ubisoft in a statement. There will be quote unquote differences in content between the Japanese edition and the versions available overseas, despite the game securing a 0Z rating, the equivalent of mature 18 plus. Japan's rating board confirmed whilst players in Europe and North America will be able to toggle amputation on or off, for Japanese players, the option to switch amputation on or off from the game has been removed. Amputating the neck and limbs of enemies during gameplay is now always impossible. So, oh, that's why they're censoring it? It's just too much gore? Because they're actually amputating limb? How many other games let you amputate limbs and like blow people up?
I think there's a side issue as well with now this is very controversial, but I think a lot of people on what I've seen from on X
Hmm.
are unhappy that it's a black character
Yeah, Black Samurai,
severing
right?
that's no listen that's killing Asians. Simple as that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there's a little bit of a backstory, like it's a bit
Ooh, okay.
um
That's why they're
yeah
targeting that one. Yeah.
it's controversial. So
I
it's a
forgot
lot of
about that
people.
character. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So it's and the music as well. It's like it's like rap music and stuff like that. It's a samurai game. The fight sequence music. There's one I saw. Oh, and I can't believe I've not brought this up. There was I watched a video of the developers trying like showcasing this game, right? And the clip I saw was them showing off the mechanics of the game, but there was a part where the main character's walking through like a village or something, and a dog comes up, and they try and pat the dog, and it bugs out live on stream, and I'm just like, guys, have you really done this? This is really selling your game, right? You try and pet a dog,
Yeah.
and it bugs out. It's just, oh my god, it's unbelievable. You need to watch that video, and it's like, and I've seen some of the great like responses to it on X, and there's like a little quote on the bottom of the actual video itself saying "work in progress," and somebody like replied saying you need to make that work in progress a lot bigger on your screen. Yeah, terrible, absolutely terrible.
You know, I was just about to bring this up, but there's not even anything to talk about. I saw a headline, Game Developers Choice Awards 2025 nominees revealed. So this is actually like awards being given out to developers from other developers, like kind of congratulating each other and like recognizing each other, but really everything on this list is the exact same thing that was on the last Game Awards. That was just a joke.
Yeah,
It's almost the exact same list. Okay, yeah, we're not even gonna cover that. That was all a bunch of BS. You guys know exactly how we feel about that. Ubisoft, Sweet Baby Inc. Politics, propaganda. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Like, also, new main actor for Naughty Dog game is a complete savage. Maybe just stupid, but I didn't get why the Naughty Dog game is game. The new Naughty Dog game? What is the new Naughty Dog game?
oh yeah, I know it's got that. A lot of people are upset with the character, the female protagonist. She looks
Oh,
like a
that,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's another one I'll be avoiding. Naughty Dog's got some great IPs, some great title. They're actually, yeah, they're responsible for The Last of Us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is the new.
Oh man. Oh, it's The Last of Us. Okay, part two. So we're taking another Last of Us part two game, huh?
It's
All
kind
right.
of yeah. All Neil Druckmann's pulling at the stops like he's done with part two by the looks of it. By the looks of it.
Jesus. Guess we'll keep you guys tuned in on that one. We'll see what happens with it. I'm not gonna be looking closely, but if I see a headline, I guess we'll talk about it. Yeah. Oh, welcome back, Mateo. We are literally just about to close this thing out unless you have anything to add, Blue.
No, I think we've covered everything. Just closing. Excuse me. Man, my voice today. Yeah, just I want to say thanks for everybody that's tuned in and listened to us talk about games. Hopefully we've kept you like entertained and informed, and everything gaming and entertaining and stuff like that. It's the usual stuff. Leave a comment, leave a like. Anything you want us to discuss, hit us up in Discord. Just do the usual stuff, and thank you for everyone that's interacted with us in the chat. We always value your feedback. Thanks for everyone that does everything like golden for the channel. You hit your parties. I've got to mention Patty again with the stuff he's done. If you haven't seen it, check out the intro at the start. That was Patty's work. We didn't even ask for that. He created it himself. So amazing stuff. My little avatar. Yeah, thank you very much, Patty. Much love. Great stuff. And hopefully you'll tune in for the next one, and we'll have some more topics to cover. And keep you entertained.
Should be going live with some gameplay here relatively soon, guys, and I will play this intro as an outro just for this debut appearance, just in case anyone missed it. This thing's got to be seen again. Shout out to Patty once again. Shout out to everyone on the leaderboards. Thank you all for tuning in to this RawCast. We look forward to seeing you in the next one. You guys stay active, stay healthy, stay hydrated. We out.
Peace.
Attention everyone, the RawCast Live is now in session. Please get to your seats of assignment and get ready for another Yap Fest from your hosts, RawTactics and True Blue 77. Please keep your hands away from the lobotomites and enjoy the show.
Live in stereo.